There's no more recognizable automotive symbol around than this, the twin kidney-shaped grille of the Bavarian MotorWorks, and BMW has been busy over the past 12 months. Only last summer they unveiled a 6-cylinder U.S. version of their 300 series, the 325e. They followed that up in January with a first-time four-door 300 body style. Then there were major engine and electronic control additions to the larger 5, 6, and 700 model cars, so we figured it was about time for an update. Putting 2 more doors on this most popular of BMWs puts it in a fresh light. You can get it as the $17,000 4-cylinder 318i, but we think this $21,000 6-cylinder 325e suits the small BMW image best. As a 4-door sedan, there's no longer any question about a 325e fitting a family or being able to take the clients to lunch. You don't have to crawl over anyone. With wide doors, entry aft is easy, and once there, head, leg, and shoulder room is good, but not generous, for 2 adults or 3 children. And this child safety lock is definitely a nice touch. 4 doors didn't affect either the dimensions of the deep trunk or the airy nature of the front cabin. Seats on the 4-door are not as aggressively bolstered as the 2-door 325e, and that's good, since the others were tight if you had a big lunch. Yet 6-way adjustments ensure an excellent view of the road, and of the clear, if incomplete, set of gauges, and of the novel trip computer that's activated by touching the steering wheel stalk. With only 55 more pounds aboard, performance changes in this 4-door over the 2-door are essentially nil. While our 0 to 60 run of 9.3 seconds was 3/10 slower than before, the 16.9 seconds at 79 quarter mile was actually 2 miles per hour faster. Power for the 325e is the excellent 121 horsepower, 2.7-liter inline-6, the so-called ETA engine that's been popular in the BMW 528e for years. Our car had the standard GetRag 5-speed manual, which continues to have one of the smoothest, shortest linkages in existence. A ZF-made 4-speed overdrive automatic is an option if practical concessions for your BMW must go all the way. Regardless, handling isn't compromised. On the infield portions of the Pocono course, our past impressions of the agile handling of the 325e were confirmed. The rear end can be accurately positioned for a turn by the throttle, and the surprisingly broad torque curve of the engine can confidently pull you through the bends when you're in slightly over your head. Complaints also continue. Tires are still too skinny and the steering too slow. But now with 4 doors as well as 2, the 325e, and for that matter the 318i, will just become doubly desirable. But that desire turns to good old-fashioned lust when the top-level $41,000 BMW 600 series is reviewed. Now in its 9th year of production, this 635 CSI Coupe incorporates major changes also available in the 535 and 735. This current 635 designation is up 2 notches from last year's 633. True to BMW form, that means a larger engine. The inline 6-cylinder with a chain-driven overhead cam has been bored out with a gain in displacement from 3.2 to 3.4 liters. Horsepower stays the same, 182, and there's been a very significant 10% increase in torque from 195 to 214. Peak torque is now reached at 5,400 RPM. That's 600 revs sooner. The 635 also has a lower final drive ratio for a quicker response off the line and higher speeds through the lower gears. We clocked a fast 0 to 60 time of 8.3 seconds and a quarter-mile run of 16.3 seconds at 86 miles per hour. But while these results show only a very small improvement over the 85 633 we tested, the engine reacts more rapidly to the throttle, and it labors less in high gears at slow speeds. Taking advantage of Pocono's high bank and the extreme stability of this car, the highest speed we got to was 128 miles per hour, close to BMW's claim of a maximum of 132. The other major addition for the 85 635 CSI is a computer-controlled anti-lock system for the all-wheel disc brakes. Some drivers might complain about the constant pulsating of the brake pedal, 15 times per second, but that's a minor annoyance in a system that almost guarantees skid-free stops on slick surfaces. Dry stopping distances of 125 feet from 55 are good too for any 3,400-pound coupe, and there was no fade or drama. Most other aspects of the 635 CSI remain the same. It's a confident handling car, but does feel big and clumsy at times. A high-speed ride, however, is firm. It soaks up lumps quickly and without note. The age of the design shows on the interior, however, and we noted a few things that were most un-BMW-like. The dash has add-on controls in inconvenient places, like some French and Italian cars. And the shift linkage is precise but long, like some American cars. But you can't help love the lap of luxury of the superb supportive seats, even in the rear. Or the fact that the front ones are 8-way power adjustable, even if the power headrest is cute, though it does look strangely oriental. But let's stop picking at fleas. Put it all together, and this most costly of imported BMWs is German steel all the way, and it leads a constantly improved lineup. Along with the 4-door edition of the 300 series, they're the most tempting Bavarian treats yet.
And we'll see you next time.